Well, we have some people to check from Saturday, and of course all the players who stayed in behind, apart from Xhaka, are available for selection. So I will decide that today after training.
Just on Danny Welbeck, he's had 2 serious knee injuries, but he's come back and he's looking so sharp already.
He's very sharp, but you know, we're still not out of it completely. We have still to be cautious with him, and where I agree with you, physically he's ready to play, but we have still to manage the times we use him and the times where we rest him for a while. I think in the next months after he will be, of course, hopefully completely fit.
He's hit the ground running straight away. What does that say about his physical and mental strength?
To come out of what he has gone through, you need to be mentally strong, and to play like he played on Saturday, you need to work hard physically. That's not a gift of God, you know. You have to go through all kind of suffering to come back to that level of fitness.
Just finally from me, last week Watford signed Aubameyang on loan from AC Milan as a young French player. You should know a bit.
That I know well because he played in Caen, and we had him here even, and he's a very talented striker individually, can create chances. He's very strong as well, physically, and very quick. I think he will be a major asset for them. He's on loan from Milan, and we have to keep him quiet because he's a guy who can do something special.
Arsene, good morning.
Good morning.
It's that time of year again. Not long left before the winter transfer window closes. How would you assess this window for yourself? It's been quiet, but how would you assess it from your point of view?
Very quiet. You know, on our front we have a big squad. You know, we are not in the need to buy, and on the general front it has been very quiet. That shows just that the players available who can strengthen the English teams are not many, and that all the teams in England, especially the big teams, have big squads, and that's why not a lot happened, in fact.
In terms of maybe one potential player that was going out, can you maybe update on the situation with Carl Jenkinson?
There's no news about him at all.
Is there still a possibility that he could either go on a permanent or a loan?
We are still open, yes, because we have many players in this position, but at the moment it doesn't look like something will happen.
Can I also ask as well, you've had 48 hours since the FA gave you the full match ban. I know obviously you've served the Southampton game, but that was literally within hours of receiving the ban. How do you feel now you've had some time to reflect on the punishment from the FA?
I don't think there's anything to add on that, you know, and I spoke a lot about that, of course, but I didn't appeal, so I accept the sanction and I just get on with it and focus on what's in front of me.
Can I just ask just a follow-up question where you talk about Danny Welbeck as well? Obviously, a great result for you, but the likes of Danny and Theo scoring as well, looking so good. Just how pleased are you that these players are back on form, scoring and looking happy?
I'm pleased with, first of all, with their performance individually, because it's important to have players. You know, we have scored many goals since the start of the season, and Danny was not there. So to add him as well to the squad gives us huge offensive potential. Now I have to use the strikers well in the right moment and without destroying the balance of the team. And I would add on that to that as well, Perez, who has contributed very well on Saturday to create chances. You know, so you have offensively we look quite. We have many players who can produce and score.
And because of the, as you say, you mentioned that this strength and depth of the squad is strong. It's fit as well. Santi Cazorla, I think, is maybe the only first player. Has that influenced your thinking during this transfer window as well? The fact that the squad is in a good place with what could be a defining month coming up with big games, Chelsea, Bayern Munich as well.
Yes, of course. It's not only to buy players. You have to have a need, first of all, in your squad. And I believe that number-wise and quality-wise, we have what is requested to do well. Now it's down to us to perform, and produce with the quality of our focus, the quality of our ambition and our desire to produce the performance in every single game.
Hi, morning, Arsene.
Good morning.
I wanted to ask Welbeck, has he done enough to keep his place for the Watford game?
Of course, he's done enough to keep his place, but at the moment, as I told you, we have to be cautious with him. I'm not sure how we use him every 3 days. I think he's a bit short for that, but the quality of the performance was there.
Does his return and several other players' return take a little pressure off you not to buy a player in January?
Yes, his return, the quality of all our strikers. I think on the offensive front, where you think we played with Perez, Walcott, and of course Welbeck up front, and we had behind Gio was not involved. Sanchez was on the bench. Özil did not play. So offensively, we have a very strong squad.
And Watford, you beat them 3-1 in the last match. Do you think they've improved since then?
I don't know. We'll see that tomorrow night. What is important for us is to focus to repeat the quality of performances. We have created a run, again, and it's important that we maintain that, no matter how good Watford will be tomorrow. But it's always difficult games in the Premier League. We have experienced that recently against Burnley again, So we have... I think our attitude is spot on, and we are ready to fight tomorrow night.
Rob Holding's performance on Saturday, along with that and Per Mertesacker coming back, you've got pace at wing back. Do you think that means Arsenal are quite well equipped to play with 3 at the back this season?
We can as well play with 3 at the back when it's, yes, we have Gabriel, we have Mertesacker, we have Holding, we have of course Koscielny and Mustafi. When needed, we can do that. But we are a team who is focused on offensive game, and overall we like always to go forward and have numbers in the middle of the park and up front.
And finally, this being January and the window, you're linked, as always, with Karim Benzema. I see some reports in the newspapers.
No.
It's every year. Why do you think this is the case?
Because he's French. And... maybe there are some noises that he would leave Madrid, but as I just told you, there's no need for us to buy any striker.
That he's not a player that you would consider even in the summer window?
In the summer window, that's not my worry at the moment. What is my worry is the next game against Watford. Thank you.
Arsene, just to clarify on Carl Jenkinson, is the Crystal Palace move, is that dead now? Or is he still talking to them?
For us, no. For him, I don't know.
Okay. And would it be a permanent deal to them, or would it be?
Yes.
Permanent? Okay. If he doesn't go anywhere, will it be difficult to reintegrate him, given that?
No, he's integrated. We respect any professional decision. Carl Jenkins is a great player who has a great attitude. There's no problem on that front. After that. He must find happiness where with his conditions and where he goes, and feel comfortable.
Have you had any offers for Mathieu Debussy yet?
No.
Is it still possible that he could go though before?
It's still possible, yes. But he's completely fit now and is back in full training.
Yeah. I mean, you've already said you're not going to be very busy yourself, but are you surprised that there's a round of Premier League games actually on deadline day, and how complicated does that make it for the teams who want to be active now that they have a game as well?
It's not easy, but all the big clubs, all the clubs in the Premier League are organised now to have special departments who take care of the transfers. Maybe the managers have a bit less their eye on the transfer than on the game, because they have the game to prepare. But I believe that there are people now inside the clubs who take care of the transfers. That's a bit more difficult, yes. Anyway, on the last day of a transfer window, it's always complicated to get to make a medical, you know, and it's always a bit superficial.
Just on Watford, I mean, they made 7 changes for their FA Cup game, and they were quite heavily criticised for it. Do you understand where teams like that are coming from, or should mid-table teams and teams that are probably not going to go down, should they really want to try and win the FA Cup and play their best side?
Well, I believe this season is a bit special timing with the games being on Tuesday, Wednesday in midweek, you know, so the teams focused a bit more to rest their players, especially the teams who feel they still are not completely out of the relegation battle, so they may be protected there a bit more, the Premiership game, what you can understand.
Last one.
Oxlade Chamberlain impressed Saturday in a central role. There's always been a bit of a debate whether he should be playing on the wing or centrally. Did that game sort of rekindle that debate in your own mind?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's a good flank player and a good central player, but the future, personally, I would say, is more central than on the flank for him. But when you're young, you want to go, you come in a team, push you always a bit more on the flank. Why? Because central is more experience, demanded, more planning, tactical planning, and on the flanks you can be a bit more instinctive. But naturally, he's a guy, I think, who is comfortable to be involved always in the game. And it looks, when I look back, all the games he played central, many of them he has done very well.
Thank you very much.